Okay, so let's take a look at multiplying rational functions. Remember, all a rational function is the ratio, so f of x equals x over x plus 1. Rational function is simply the ratio of two polynomials. In this case, numerator polynomial f of x equals x, and the denominator polynomial f of x equals x plus 1. So how do we multiply these? Well, if we reach back and we think about how do we multiply fractions? So if I have 1 over 7 and I'm multiplying it by 2/3, the way that we multiply this is that we multiply the numerator by the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. So that this equals 1 times 2 over 7 times 3, or 2 over 21. In much the same way, we can multiply rational functions. So if I have x plus 1 over x minus 2, and I'm multiplying that by x plus 2 over x minus 1, just keep things simple, then I multiply my numerator by my numerator and my denominator by my denominator. In this case, x plus 1 times x plus 2 over x minus 2 times x minus 1. And then if we combine our factors, if that's required, then we would just multiply x plus 2 times x plus 1 and x minus 2 times x minus 1, and we would end up with x squared plus 3x plus 2 over x squared minus 3x plus 2. So that's multiplying rational functions. Now, where it gets a little more difficult and where we want to make sure we simplify wherever possible is when we start looking at multiplying rational functions involving quadratics, or if we have rational functions that have common factors in the numerator and denominator that we can simplify out. So let's take a look at this problem. We have 1 over x minus 4, and we're multiplying it by negative x squared plus 9x minus 20 over x plus 2. So we can quite simply multiply numerator by numerator. So negative x squared plus 9x minus 20 over x minus 4 times x plus 2. And we're going to leave these in factored form. We're not going to multiply this together as a quadratic because we want to see if we can factor this numerator and simplify this rational function. So remembering our rational function, factoring our quadratic, we're going to take our quadratic, negative x squared plus 9x minus 20. Remembering this is in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. And we're going to look at the product of a and c. So negative 1 times negative 20 equals 20. And then we're going to factor. We're going to see what our factors are for 20, 2 and 10, or 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. And we're going to see which pair of these factors adds up to our b value, this 9. So 1 and 20, no. 2 and 10, no. 4 and 5, bingo. And we're going to take this 4 and 5, and we're going to split our term 9x into two terms. So we're going to rewrite our function as 9x squared plus 4x plus 5x minus 20. Again, it does not matter if we do the 4x first or the 5x first. They will both factor out neatly for our factoring by grouping. Then we're going to group our first term, 2 terms, and our second 2 terms. Now, we're going to factor out the greatest common factor. If we look, in the second term, we have a negative sign. In the first term, we have a positive sign, and we have the negative in front of the x. So let's factor out a negative value for this expression so that we can match these signs. So if we look, I can factor out of this first expression an x squared. So I'll factor out a negative x squared, negative x, and that's going to leave me with x plus 4. And then my plus. And my second expression, 5x minus 20, I can factor out a 5 because 5 is the greatest common factor for 5 and 20. So 5, which leaves me with, oh, sorry, this is a minus 4 right there. X minus 4. Now, I have this common expression in both my groupings. So I can factor that negative x, or that x minus 4 out. So I have x minus 4, and that leaves me negative x plus 5. So x minus 4 and negative x plus 5 are my two linear factors of negative x squared plus 9x minus 20. So going back to our function here, let's rewrite this using these two factors. So x minus 4, negative x plus 5 over x minus 4, x plus 2. Now, we have this x minus 4 expression in the numerator and this x minus 4 expression in the denominator. This allows us to cancel them out because x minus 4 divided by x minus 4 is 1. And this leaves us with our simplified form, x negative x plus 5 divided by x plus 2. And we are finished. That is our simplified solution to 1 over x minus 4 times negative x squared plus 9x minus 20 divided by x plus 2.